And welcome back to Live at Apex with me, Trevor Galbraith. I'm delighted to be joined by a couple of guests this afternoon, the first of which is Jeremy Vanselous. Jeremy's from a company called Searchworks. Welcome, Jeremy.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
it's good to see you again.
It is actually, and we did an interview not that long ago on a podcast, but I want to talk to you because you're right at the rock face in terms of companies that are looking to do hiring here in the United States in the electronics manufacturing space. What's the current status of the job market, and how are companies reacting to the current fluctuations?
Good question. I think the state of the employment market here in the manufacturing space, specifically electronic manufacturing space, is still, I would still call it very healthy, right? So we're still seeing plenty of demand from our clients for, various talent. Mm-hmm. Where we do start to see and hear a little bit of uncertainty is more so on the candidate side of the equation.
Right.
So I think there's just a little bit of a lack of confidence right now in, from a stability perspective that's got some folks, a little
in what
cautious.
way they're thinking that the potential company that they're going to might start doing layoffs and it's last in, first out, that kind of thing?
Right. Always put yourself in a candidate's shoes, right? And so if you're an established employee working at a company, but for whatever reason interested in new opportunity, but in this current environment, you think, oh, well, if I do make this change now from my very comfortable situation into a new organization, not fully understanding how stable that environment is, should things get a little soft, will you be the first one to go since you were the last one in?
Yeah.
And so part of what we need to do through our work is to help candidates through that thought process and work with our clients to make sure that they're prepared to offer that candidate that sense of security that they will seek as well. Right. Yeah, but it's still very healthy. Yeah, I'm very happy with the demand. The demand has actually shifted though quite heavily to sales.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So normally our firm, we'll see about 30% of our work at any given time in the sales function.
Yeah.
And then, other functions like operations, supply chain, quality, programs.
Yeah.
Those others will represent, a mix of the other. But today, our pipeline is 60%, probably even closer to 70% sales.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
So.
There's a lot of opportunity out here at the moment. Although we do know that there's a lot of projects that are on hold because of the geopolitical situation, the demand is still there. Everybody knows that the demand for data centers, for space, for military is going to come straight through.
Yes.
The minute
that is our hope, right?
Yeah.
That it comes rushing back, right? Yeah. As soon as we get this sense of some stability. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. And I think that's none of us know when that's going to be, but we're hoping it's going to be in the next couple of months.
We do. Yeah.
Yeah. So a candidate who's looking to get into the electronics industry, they're just finishing college. What would you, how would you guide them to look at a career in electronics manufacturing?
Yeah, well, it might be obvious where we're at, but I would guide them immediately to the IPC, right, to start to seek, very specific training and certifications. The IPC has been doing an amazing job creating, much better awareness around the electronic manufacturing industry as a whole, to attract the next generation into it.
Right.
And then additionally, I would suggest they seek out internships. 5 years ago, maybe a little longer than that, but maybe 5 years ago or so, it would be very difficult to find an internship program in our case, like an EMS company.
Yeah.
You wouldn't see it. You might see it in a tier 1, a Jabil, a Flex, a Celestica, but not down into the other tier space. And now all of those companies have really figured out that that's what they need to do as well. So I would seek out internships, get into it early, and learn, learn on the job.
I think that's really important. And, I did an interview a couple of days ago with a couple of gentlemen from Collins Aerospace.
Okay.
And they pioneered a very strong internship and mentorship program, which they said that the students should be looking for internships that are going to last 6 or 9 months, not a 3-month type gap.
Yeah.
Because you're only just learning where things are in the first month. And you need to be able to get into it. They hand off a few projects, and so you're given ownership of certain projects you have to deliver, and you really get a feel for what the job entails.
Yeah. I think those are very smart programs to invest in. Yeah. To kind of usher in, this next generation. Yeah.
I mean, I think there seems to be, a number of people that are leaving the industry, they're retiring. We've also got a number of people that are coming in at the bottom end, young people. But where the problem is in the middle.
You're absolutely right. Yeah. We have a couple of generations almost, missing in the industry. So it's either, more of an aging population, which are going to start going away faster on the, about a 30,000 person per month clip here over the next 5 years. And then we're going to have a wave, of much younger talent coming in too, which is fantastic. But the gap in the middle, that is the hard part. And it's going to take, years for that gap to close. I'll guess probably somewhere between 5 and 8 years for that gap to close.
Fully, yes. Yes, you're right.
And and so in the meantime, for those types of roles that require that type of experience, it's going to be very competitive.
So do you think automation and cobots and that type of thing are going to fill a little bit of that gap? I
think they absolutely will. I mean, honestly, I hope they do, because that's outstanding technology, and we should use it. It makes sense. It's efficient, it's accurate, it's cost effective, right? So it makes a lot of sense in certain applications. But so much of this industry outside of production, outside of manufacturing, is very people. I mean, you can't replace that with automation.
Right.
So you think about supply chain roles, you think about program management roles, you think about sales roles, you think about operations leadership. None of that's going to get replaced with any type of automation.
True.
And that's where the skills gap is going to remain. You're going to continue to feel that for a little while.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think in the medium term here, there's going to be a huge demand ongoing for a long time. For skilled workers in this industry. Are you getting requests for people that are more familiar with data, almost like data scientists and things like that for some of these large operators?
Not so far in the work that we do, right? So the 17-year history that we have has been predominantly within the EMS sector,
right?
And so we haven't really seen much demand for that kind of talent in that sector. As we expand, into our other market sectors, like the equipment that we see here this week, and like the materials that we see here this week, and other PCB and interconnect types of technology, I'm sure other robotics, we may start to have requests for that type of
well, it's
skill.
Becoming such a data-hungry, data-centric business. Everything's got to be measured. Every process has got to be measured. Yes, you can automatically sort out that data pool to make actionable insights.
Absolutely.
But sometimes you really need an experienced person to be able to do it too.
Well, we see on the data side, the data collection, we do see even our smaller clients really adapting the more sophisticated MES systems to make their manufacturing data more timely, more accurate, more visible, to the operators.
Yeah.
So a lot of adoption of those tools in production, for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's going to be an interesting few years, Jeremy, and it's great to see the work you've done so far, and I want to thank you for coming in and telling us about it today.
I really appreciate you having me again. Yeah, I'd love to do it anytime.
Okay, thank you.